Yo, what is going on, y'all? It's your boy Emmanuel here, E-Man the Chosen One, and we back with another banger for today. Man, YouTube fam, it's been a minute for sure. This past spring semester when I came home from school, I was just caught up, just working constantly back to back this whole summer. So not gonna lie, kind of fell off and I wasn't really consistent with producing content like I should have been. But now that I just moved back out here to school for the fall semester, I'll be able to, take the time to, get back to the grind with school and also sitting down, making some good quality content and putting that out there within like the next, few weeks, months ahead. So stay tuned, y'all. But yeah, it's been a minute and I just wanted to hop on here and make another, good video for y'all. And this one is gonna be about my first year experience at UK. Not the whole experience, but like a little tad bit about like the beginning. Two incidences that happened within my first week of transferring out here to my dream school. One at the apartment complex that I stayed at, which is off campus, and then the other that took place on campus. Two racial incidents that happened back to back within the first week. So, I'm finna, give y'all the spill on that. And yeah, so just sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. But yeah, I just wanna say, thank you guys for tuning in. God is good, and we finna just continue to build slowly but surely, brick by brick, and yeah, just stay tuned for more videos on the way. So let's jump right into it. Last year, first year transfer student at the University of Kentucky, transferred from a community college back home in Aurora called Waubonsie Community College. Shout out to all my people back home at Waubonsie, all the teachers, all the counselors, everyone who held it down, kept it real from the start. They much appreciated it for sure. So last fall, me, my parents drove all the way from Aurora, Chicago to Lexington, Kentucky. Always been my dream school, super excited and was looking forward to it for the longest, since high school, since a little shorty till now. I was always anticipating and dreaming about coming here. So by the grace of God, the door opened up for me to have this opportunity to transfer, and I was like, wow, a brand new start, brand new atmosphere, pursuing a college degree, got my associates and now a bachelor's, just 2 more years down and I'll be a black graduate in the United States of America. To be a black graduate, I'm like, wow, man, I came a long way from where I used to be at, negativity, drama, and now, finna hold 2 degrees, come on now, that ain't nothing but God right there. Cause if y'all knew me from my past life and where I used to be at, trying to be in the streets, just negativity, all that, y'all be amazed. But God is good, and just hard work, dedication, and believing in yourselves, I can go a long way. So yeah, me and my parents, we drove down here last year in August 23rd. I believe that's the day it was that we came out here. Yeah, because we came out here 2 days before school started on the 25th of August. So we came here, made it on, Saturday night or Saturday afternoon, because this was K-Week. And K-Week at Kentucky is an introduction week to incoming freshmen and transfer students, get familiar with the campus. So I attended K-Week, and this is the last day, so it was called Catapalooza, Lollapalooza like Chicago, but Catapalooza for University of Kentucky. Although I didn't attend all the other events within the first week, I attended the last one, so it was decent, it was straight. And then Sunday came around the 24th, the day before school started on Monday. My parents and I, we stayed at a hotel the night before, so Sunday morning, drove to the new apartment that I was staying at. And it's my first time staying in an apartment by myself, well, with roommates, but away from home. So brand new with renting, learning how that whole process goes, and I can for sure say they matured me, helped me grow as a person. Learning how to like be more responsible, manage my money, all that, good stuff right there. So first time renting, first time living away from home, pretty excited, geeked about it. The Stretch Apartments in Lexington on Red Mile Road. It's like a 6-minute drive away from the school. I could either take my car or like you have like the buses that come around that could take you to the school as well. So that was pretty good. Affordable prices. So I was like, all right, bet, like this fits my budget. First time away from home, good price, close to the school. I mean, you can't go wrong with that. So my parents, helped me get my stuff, brought it upstairs to my apartment, 3rd floor. Settled in a little bit. Parents, they left to go back home to Chicago. So now, mind you, I have all my stuff in my room, slowly unpacking, cleaning the place. I like to usually give my place a nice, clean down, a nice thorough clean down, make sure everything's wiped down, clean before I put my stuff in. I just gotta take those necessary precautions. I like to stay clean. So, just taking the extra steps to having a nice spick and span living area. I was, getting my apartment ready. Now, mind you, I'm a brand new transfer student to UK. And then the other roommates that I have, it was 3 other roommates as well too. They're brand new transfer students to their university. And the school that they're going to is called Midway University, which is like maybe a decent 20-minute drive away from Lexington. And they all play baseball together. So they transferred from their community colleges to Midway, and we all stayed here together. Now, mind you, I had no prior history of these people. I never met them, never texted them, never knew who they were. But they had a general connection with each other through baseball. So I was unpacking my stuff. Parents left out already. 3 roommates. One is from Jacksonville, Florida. One is from Illinois, where I'm from, in Bloomington, which is like down south. And the other's from Colorado. Those 3 roommates, they came back to the apartments because I guess they just had baseball practice. So I was unpacking, never met these people a day in my life. First day, introduced ourselves to each other, and the first day I moved in, the dude from Jacksonville, Florida, had the nerve to ask me this dumbass question. Excuse my French. This dumb question, asking me, is it cool if he can say the N-word around me? The N-word, not the ER, not the hard R, but like the ones that the black people use when they greet each other. Like, what's up, my ninja? Stuff like that. Didn't even know who dude was, but on the first day, wanted to ask me if he could say the N-word around me. I'm just thinking to myself, like, what? Like, I'm trying to process, like, am I really hearing what I heard? Did I hear that correctly on the first day? Asking me, can he say the N-word? And, I know that it's a serious conversation, but just looking back, I can laugh on it, like, I have a sense of humor to where I could just laugh on things, even if it's something serious, I can just laugh on it, because I don't want to harbor no hate or negativity in my heart, so I could just laugh on things like these that happen. Feel me? So he asked me if he could say the N-word, and I was just like, nah, like, I'd appreciate it if you, kept it on the low if you didn't say it. So he brought me to his room, we were just walking, chopping it up, and he was like, oh yeah, back home in Florida, my best friend is black. He lets me have the password to his house. I'm like thinking to myself, that's your best friend, not me. I'm different. So he's like, oh yeah, he lets me have the password to his house. We hang out all the time, woo woo. Within like the same first week of moving in, I was about to go to the gym. So at these apartments, it's a 4-bedroom apartment. We all have our own bedroom with a bathroom inside of it, and we all have our own keys to, lock our doors. Like, we have the key to like the main door to get into the apartment, and we also have keys to get into like, unlock our own apartment, room doors. So there's one day, I think it was like within the first week, I was about to go to the gym at this campus. So it's like late night, maybe like 9, 10 p.m., something like that. But I head out to the gym, was locking my door, and then the three roommates were on the couch in the living room just chilling. All of a sudden, I heard a dude from Jacksonville say the N word back to back twice, nonchalant. And he was like, nigga, nigga. And I was like, what? Did he really just say that while I'm locking my door? I'm about to head out. And I literally just called him out right there on the spot. And I was like, yo, you can't be saying this word. And all of a sudden, he just started to get all defensive, talking about, all these different excuses as to why he can say the word. He was like, oh yeah, it's just a word. A black slave master invented the word. I'm like, what? Nah, like, that's cap, bro. Like, you tweaking, folks. White slave masters invented the word to deteriorate and tear down black people. And he was, saying, oh yeah, my roommate, or not my roommate, my best friend back home is black. I say the word around him all the time. And just et cetera, et cetera. He continued to go down the list of all these excuses as to why he can say the word. I forgot what else he said, but to sum it all up, just kept, getting all defensive, didn't really want to hear and respect my wishes. So at the end of it, he was like, oh, sorry. And I could just tell in his voice that he wasn't really sincere about it. Because, if he was really sincere, I could tell if it was genuine or not. But, he was just saying sorry just to say it, because he didn't really care. So after that happened, I talked to my landlords at the apartments. They're like, oh, yeah, I'm so sorry this happened to you. And they're like, is there anything that we could do to, like, help, fix the situation? So they looked into, like, seeing what available apartments were, like, open, if they had, like, any other open spaces. Told me about these other people at an apartment that was, like, right next over from where I was at. They said, oh, yeah, they got an extra room. We'll, like, contact them for you and let them know that you need a place to stay. So I met up with these new roommates, introduced myself to them, told them I was like, yo, this and that happened, woo woo, this, that, the third. I need a new place to stay. So they were pretty cool. And they're like, all right, bet, you can come stay with us. So I was like, all right, cool, appreciate it. And they even offered to, like, help, bring my stuff to the apartment as well too. Come time to, like, pack my stuff up, I didn't tell none of my old roommates that I was leaving out because it was none of their business. So I started packing to get my stuff together. And while I was packing my stuff, the two roommates, one from Colorado, one from Illinois, they were just chilling in the living room. I guess they just came back from baseball practice. So I was packing, bringing my stuff out the doors, and they were like, yo, E, like, talk to us. Like, what's going on? And while I was, like, packing my stuff, I was like, yo, like, if I told you, you wouldn't understand, because just, where they're from, their background, their ethnicity, them being white, me being black. It's like they wouldn't really understand if I told them, like, what was going on. Like, it's, like, kind of hard for someone else who's not really, like, been through our shoes. Bringing my stuff out, came back in, and I was like, homie saying the N-word, that shit don't fly. And it just got mad silent. Like, you could just hear a pin drop, you could hear, like, a little church mouse just running through in the hall, whatever, and, it just got quiet, mad quiet. And all of a sudden, I looked at my phone, and the dude from Jacksonville texted me. He was like, yo, brother, you good? I didn't respond back to him, so I was just packing, getting my stuff out. He was in his room, but I guess he heard me, getting all loud and upset, talking to the other roommates. He came out in his room, and he was like, yo, what's going on? And I was like, you saying the N-word? And then all of a sudden, just a straight argument, back and forth, like 10-minute argument, back and forth, just yelling, heated, me telling him, oh yeah, you can't be saying this word. Him being all defensive, talking about, oh yeah, I can say the word whenever I want to, it's just a word, this, that, the third, woo, woo, like, everything he was doing was all these excuses for him to say the word. He didn't want to hear none of what I had to say. It's like, come on now, like, I'm moving to the first apartment I ever had, brand new transfer student to the University of Kentucky. And this is what I'm experiencing within my first year as a transfer student. new apartment, new city, new state, new school. And this is what I get within my first week. This is what I'm going through. For you to ask me this on the first day, and you don't want to hear and respect what I gotta say, you don't want to respect my wishes, that's some straight up bull. Like, come on now. It's like, it just shows that, he didn't have respect whatsoever. If we're gonna live together, it's like, you gotta respect someone else who you're living with, especially people that you have no history with whatsoever. If you're living with someone, you gotta respect somebody's wishes and not do anything to, step on their toes or, cross boundaries. And that's what he did. Cross the boundary, cross the line. And we didn't even like get the chance to really know each other like that, because he just straight up asked me on the first day, like, it's crazy. Heated argument, back and forth, 10 minutes straight. Thank God I didn't have to put fists on him. And thank God that, he didn't put fists on me, or, we didn't just go back and forth, just, fighting each other. Because, if that happened, 3 white roommates against 1 black person, it would have been a different story. They could have easily called the cops and be like, yo, this black roommate of ours put his hands on us, threatened us, fought us. It could have been a whole different story, but by the grace of God, we didn't fight. We ended up dapping it up with each other. And I was like, yo, man, I wish you the best with everything that you do in your life. And he said the same thing with me too. I wish you the best, woo-woo. I wish you the best. And, with school, baseball, all that good stuff. And I was just like, yo, I can't see myself living with you guys, it just wouldn't work. So we went on our separate ways, and thank God the new roommates that I have were, pretty respectful, loving. Shout out them, I still talk to them right now to this day. So we all got along just well, just fine, good communication, good energy, good vibes compared to the old roommates. So that happened within the first week. And now that second thing happened within the first week too. This was within that first week on a Friday. Got introduced to a new Bible study at my school. It's called CSF, Christian Student Fellowship. So every Friday they have this thing called Friday Night Flapjacks. From 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. in the morning. Got introduced to this Bible study. And I was like, all right, bet, like free pancakes on Friday night too. I mean, man, what's up with it? Popped out to it, and I parked like down the street from the Bible study. I wasn't really too familiar with where I was parking at, because I was getting used to like the school, the campus, still learning my surroundings. 1 a.m. came around, I was leaving the Bible study. I didn't really know where I was at first, but now that I made it through my first year and have a gist of where everything is at, technically I thought I was off campus, but I guess this is on campus still where this took place at. I was on the phone with one of my homies from back home. He was all the way in Cali, but homie of mine, good best friend. I was on the phone just chopping it up with him, telling him about, yo, like this is my dream school. I'm happy, I'm excited and blessed to be here. And it's everything that I thought it would be. So I was excited. And now mind you, I'm walking straight. There's a whole crosswalk intersection, but I go across the street. My light turned green for me to go, and I was on the phone. All of a sudden, I just heard like somebody like yelling. I didn't know if they were yelling at me, or I didn't know if they were yelling at somebody else. So I was going across, and then all of a sudden, their light turned green. So like this person in a silver car pulled up on my side. Had no idea of who this person was. Pulled up on the side of me while I was walking, and he yelled out his car window, "Yo nigga, what's your shoe size?" And I said, "Hey yo, chill out." Now mind you, the Bible study is back here, intersection's right here. Campus library is literally right across. Just if I walk straight, if I cross the street, it'll literally just be a few steps in front of me. And there's a whole daycare center right there on campus. This is on the street, Woodland Street. And so, all on campus. Dude pulled up in the parking lot right next to me, and he said, "You heard me?" He was like, "What you gonna do about it?" And then he was like, yo, nigga, what's your shoe size? And I was just silent. I had no words. I was like literally just trying to process what I was hearing. You know, I was like, is this really going down? Is this really happening to me right now? I had no response. Like he was like, you heard me. And then like he pulled up into the street right next to me. He said, answer my question, boy, before it turns violent. And I had no response. I was just speechless. I was just like so many things going through my mind. I was like really just thinking like, dang, is this really happening to me right now? Like, is this going on in my first week of school? And I could just tell by the way that he was talking, just coming from Aurora, Chicago, we have our slang, we have the way that we talk. And I could just tell that this dude in the car was a goofy. Like goofy means that, you're not really about what you're saying. And you could just tell by like just the way that someone acts, the way they go about their business. How you could just tell that they front and they move, they goofy, they just front and they move whole time. Front and they move means like you're not gonna do anything about it. So I could just tell this dude was a goofy just by the way he was talking, and he was like on the street in his car. And then if he would have stepped out the car, if he would have approached me, if he started coming towards me, I would have messed him up. I would have beat the dog crap out of him. I would have beat him up. I would have beat the brakes off this dude. I want to say something else, but I'm trying to keep it clean. But I would have beat the brakes off him for sure. Like if people would try to touch me, like come on now, like I'm ready. Jump out the car, see what's gonna happen. And all of a sudden, dude just drove down the street. I could just hear him laughing from his car. And so I was like, dang, like this really happened to me within the first week of transferring to school. Like, man. And it was just like a little traumatizing. I was like, dang, like 2 of these things happened to me. One at the apartments and one literally right on campus, down the street from my Bible study that I was leaving, right next to the library and the dorms, where all the stuff, everything on campus, literally on campus. I went to the MLK Center, Martin Luther King Center at our school, which is a place of diversity. Talked to one of the ladies there. Her name is Ruth, and she's been a real help to me ever since I transferred out here to UK. Shout out Ruth. Kept it 100 ever since I came out here. She put me on with the campus resources, the police officers. She said, oh yeah, talk to the Hispanic officer here. He's like the only Hispanic on duty. Walked down to the campus police, told him about what happened. I didn't speak to him because I guess he wasn't there at the time. But I spoke to them, told them what happened, and they asked me, they were like, did you get a license plate number? And I was like, nah, like, I didn't get a chance to take a look at it. And they told me that unfortunately, because I didn't have the license plate number, they couldn't really do anything about it. And they were like, in the future, what is it that we can do to help prevent things like these from happening to other people or from you? And I was like, if I could just patrol these streets at nighttime heavily, just keep patrolling them. And he was like, yeah, like we already do that, but we can, step it up a little bit more. So that happened. I even went to the daycare center that was right next to the library, Willie T Library. I walked in to the daycare. I was like, something happened to me within this parking lot. Do y'all have cameras so that y'all could check this out? And they said, nah, like, sorry, we don't have no cameras. And I was like, thinking to myself, like, how are they a public building, but they don't have no cameras, Like, what if something happened in this parking lot, like, to me or someone else? What if something happened in this parking lot and they don't have no cameras and they can't see what the heck happened? So I was pissed, I was praying. I was like, God, like, get revenge for me, like spin a block, take care of these dudes who were testing me, people at the apartments. The dude who yelled in his car threatened me, asked me what my shoe size was. I was like, God, like, get revenge, for the hurt and the pain that they caused me. So I called my parents, told them what happened, upset, pissed, irritated. Like, dang, why did this happen within my first week of transferring to a brand new school? I had high expectations to transfer out to UK. And these two things happened. I called my friends, talked to them about it, told them how pissed and irritated I was. Like, man, it's crazy to know that the world that we live in today, this type of stuff still goes down. And back home in Chicago, Aurora, it's like I never really experienced anything like this because, you know, everyone, pretty much had a lot of love and respect for each other, to where like it wasn't no racist BS going on all the time. Compared to the South, this is my first time in the southern state, and this happens to me out of all people, and I'm like, wow, like it was scary and eye-opening to know that, wow, like this is still the country that we live in. People are still ignorant, people are still blind, people are still racist. And so ever since those things happened, especially on campus with the dude yelling at his car, in Chicago, Aurora, I was always taught to just be aware of our surroundings. Especially in Chicago, it's like anything could pop off at any time, at any moment. People shooting, bad things happening, whatever. So you're just taught to, walk and talk, with confidence, be aware of your surroundings, head on a swivel, eyes open, just being alert, being on your swivel, on your 10 toes down, being on your P's and Q's, moving with a purpose everywhere you go to, not, doing anything that's gonna get you caught up, or, just moving swiftly, just being smart with how you move. I was taught to, move in that certain manner back home, but coming out here after that whole incident happened with the on campus, I was on high alert even more, especially at nighttime. Like I was alert, looking at every person who I walked past, looking at them, scanning them, just up and down, just in case something popped off, or looking over my shoulder for every car that drove past me. Keep my eyes open for that, what this car looked like, the description of this car, what did this person look like. Every time I walked past someone, every time a car drove by, high alert, eyes open, head up. And just in case something went down again, I was always on high alert ever since then, 10 times more than what I would be back home. It was an experience for sure. But just praying, ever since then, I was just praying like, God, give me strength to forgive him. But I don't want to harbor no anger or no frustration or bitterness in my heart, so I was just like, God, like, give me strength to forgive him. I don't want to be bitter, I don't want to be angry, I don't want to be upset, so give me the strength I need to forgive him. So that was that. And I can even laugh about the whole situation that happened with the roommates, because I'm studying theater. So I took an acting class this past spring semester, and I pretty much reenacted the whole roommate situation with a partner in my acting class, because we had to do a scene together. And we pretty much just took the whole situation that happened to me at the apartments, switched up the names, and we had to basically let the class guess what the scene was about. And so we reenacted the situation at the apartments, and nobody in the class, could like really guess or pinpoint what was it that we were trying to act out. So at the end of the scene, I told everyone in the class that this scene that we acted out was what happened to me, and the whole room just got so silent because they weren't expecting none of that to happen. And so everyone in the class were like, damn, I'm sorry that happened to you. And my teacher, he's from Chicago-2, from the south side, Stony Island, the east side. Black teacher too, like around like maybe early 30s, I think. So we were able to connect because we're from the area, we're from the land. So he was like, if you need anything, let us know, and sorry that happened, but keep your head up, and just know that this is a safe place that you could be at, and everyone is looking out for you. So I felt lots of love and appreciated from my teacher and everyone else in the class. So just in the future, to anyone who's watching this video, check on your friends, especially like people who aren't of minority, who do have friends who are of minority. Look out for your friends, check out on them, ask them how they're doing, especially if they're like living in places that have like high tension, places of racism, like, or just have some type of history of things going down of that nature. check on y'all people, ask them how they're doing, ask them if they need anything. And to my people, of color, wherever y'all traveling to, especially like in places that, um, have this type of history of things going down. Um, Wherever you're at, travel together, travel in pairs, travels in threes, or if you gotta travel by yourself, um, take extra precaution to like just make sure you're safe. Text, call your friends, you let them know that you made it back to this place safely, on time, whatever the case may be. Just look out for your people, be safe, keep our heads up, and don't let anything that the devil, that the enemy tries to throw at you easily get the best of you and weigh you down. Because I could have easily let these things weigh me down for a minute, but I just try to fight through it, keep a positive attitude, and now I can laugh back at some of the things like these because I say I refuse to let the negativity and just things like these tear me down and get me dwelling on it for a long time. So just keep our heads up, don't let what the enemy tries to throw at you tear you down as a person. Just keep rising above the negativity. And those situations where those people were trying to get me down, it's like the enemy will try to use people to pull you down, or people, if they see something special about you, if people see just good things inside of you, they're gonna try to like pull you down to stoop down to their level. But it's like you gotta rise above that hate, you gotta rise above that negativity. So that's my message. Like we are too good of people to like stoop down to the negativity, and just gotta act out on love. Act out on love. Let the love conquer the hate. Let the love make you stand tall and rise above it and be the bigger person. Don't let the negativity, don't let the drama, don't let anything that life throws at you change you and make you bitter and make you angry into somebody that you're not. So just keep rising above it. Stay up, stay lit, keep our heads up, smile, just keep it pushing P. Because at the end of the day, life goes on and things will get better, and you will be a better version of yourself, despite the trials and tribulations and whatever you come across. So, yeah. But yeah, thank you all for listening. I ain't mean to hold y'all for too long, but yeah, appreciate you guys, just taking the time to watch the video. Y'all can follow me on social media, Instagram at emanthechosen197, Snapchat humblebeast197, and Facebook Emmanuel Buckley. That's pretty much everything that I have to say. So, love you guys. Stay tuned for more content. Peace, love, and positivity. God is good. We're blessed to be alive, too blessed to be stressing. Gotta stay resilient. Keep it moving. Keep it pushing. Keep y'all smiles. Keep y'all crowns. And yes, sir. We lit. We get back gang right here. We don't fold. We keep moving forward. We keep standing tall. Keep staying 10 toes down. What they thought this was. Yes, sir. We out here.